Hey guys, welcome back. So, as you can tell the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about why I'm choosing to join the Marines aside every other branch. As I explained to you guys, I am going to be eating lunch because I have work in about an hour and a half. So I technically only have 30 minutes to explain. But I am going to tell you guys everything as I eat. So, you might be wondering. I'm literally going to jump straight into it because I do not have time. So, you might be wondering. I'm going to start off from the beginning. Why did I choose to join the military? Realistically, I'm over school. As most or some of you guys know, I just started my freshman year of college here at UTSA. To sum it up, college was never something I wanted to do. College was something I never wanted to do straight out of high school. I strictly came to college for my parents, and I tested it out, and I liked it. It was okay. But this isn't something I want to do. It really isn't. It wasn't until I finally realized that I had the choice. Sorry, this is my first time trying this, and it's okay. It wasn't until I finally realized that I do have the choice whether or not I want to go. So that's what I did. I did about 2-3 months of thinking about whether or not I wanted to join. And I finally came to the conclusion, I want to join. I don't want to go to school next year. So I was like, okay. So I finally took steps and told myself, I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to go talk to a recruiter and I'm going to join. Mind you, when I first finally came to the decision of me wanting to join the military, I made the decision that I wanted to join. I hadn't made the decision of what branch I wanted to join, right? So that's when it came down to doing my research and figuring out what branch I wanted to join. I had no clue what any of the branches were. I only knew the Army and the Air Force. Right off the bat, I knew I didn't want to do the Army. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but it wasn't something that was screaming my name. You know, the Army is one of the biggest branches in the world. It has a population of like 1 million people, maybe even more. I could be wrong. I don't know. But the Army was not something I wanted to do. It wasn't calling my name. When I did research on it, it didn't really feel like it was for me. You know, I was like, the Army is not something I want to do. So, but when I was making my decision, I told myself, I'm going to talk to a recruiter from each branch before I make my decision. And so, what I did, I got ready. I put on an outfit. I did my hair, did a little bit of light makeup, and I went down to the recruiting office. I was going to talk to an Army recruiter, right? Because I told myself I'm going to talk to one recruiter from each branch, and I'm going to try to get as much information as I can, and I'm going to make my decision. So the only branches that I had knowledge of were the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy. I didn't know what the Marines was. I didn't know what the National Guard was, and I didn't know what the Space Force was, or whatever. So my two top picks were the Army or the Air Force. those are my two top picks that I went in thinking, okay, I'm going to choose either or. But I knew I didn't want to do the Army. So in my mind, I was like, okay, realistically, I'm probably going to do the Air Force, but I'm going to talk to an Army recruiter just to see how it feels. So I go down to the recruiting office and I knock on the Army's door and I ring their doorbell. Nobody answers me. I'm like standing outside for a good 5-10 minutes waiting for someone from the Army to answer, but no one answers. So as I'm waiting outside, right next to the Army recruiting office is the Marines recruiting office. This dude comes out and he asked me, he's like, hey, like, are you fine? Do you need help? I was like, I explained to him my situation, right? And he tells me, he's like, well, why don't you want to join the Marines? Like any other recruiter would say, you know. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I literally told him, I was like, I don't know much of the Marines. Like, I'm just trying to see what's out there for me. And he's like, look, come back in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we can talk. I was like, okay. Because, like, what harm could that have done? It could have done no harm to me. So I said yes. I waited in my car 5-10 minutes because the Army wasn't responding. I go back in and we start talking. He checks if I qualify. I checked everything off, so I was good. He asked me some questions about my life. Everything was good. I liked his vibe. He was a good guy. And I left. And I was like, whoa, like the Marines was something that was not on my list. Like I didn't know what the Marines was. And that kind of just sparked my head. I was like, whoa, this seems very interesting. This seems like something I want to do. So I sit on that for about a weekend, you know, and I go to school. I have class, right? So this is an important part, all right? This is a very important part to my story. I feel like everybody's story is different when it comes to choosing what branch they want to choose. But I feel like what I'm about to tell y'all is such a whoa. I went to class, right? I went to class on a Monday. I made one new friend. His name's Walter. I asked him how his weekend went. He said it was good. He spent it with family. He asked me how my weekend was. I was like, it was good. It was easy. And I asked him, I was like, oh, what did you do with your family this weekend? And he was like, oh, I spent a bunch of time with his family and his sister because they sent his sister off to the Marines. And I was like, come again? He's like, yeah, my sister enlisted a while ago, and yesterday was the day they shipped her off, and we just spent as much time as we could with her. And I was like, mind you, I had not told Walter about my plans about joining the military at all. And I was like, the one friend I made out of this 100 people, like this classroom filled with 100 people, like, and you're telling me you just sent your sister off to the Marines? And I just talked to a Marine recruiter like a day or two ago? So I was like, whoa. And I told him, I was like, Walter, you're not gonna believe me, but I've literally have been thinking about joining the Army, and I just talked to a Marine recruiter about 2 days ago. And he was like, you're joking. I was like, I'm not joking. And he's like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. And what is it called? The mac and cheese from Fuego is not that good. So don't get it if you go to Fuego. And so he was like, what recruiter did you talk to? I told him, oh, some guy from Desavala. Oh. He was like, can I give you the recruiter my sister went with? And I was like, sure. What harm could that do? You know? And so he gave me his recruiter that the sister went with. And I got in contact with him. He called me. He called me one day and we were on the phone for 30 minutes. And I loved his vibe. He seemed like a nice guy. So I was like, let me meet with him. So we had scheduled a date to meet. I went down to his office and I met him. I feel like I'm taking a bite in between everything I say. So I need to like calm down. But yeah, the first time I met my recruiter was amazing. I stayed in his office for 3.5 hours. We did a lot of talking. He explained so much to me. And as we were talking, I completely forgot about the other branches. Like, the Army was out, the Navy was out, and the Air Force was out. I was like, I don't know, maybe that's what a recruiter is supposed to do. And if they do, then he did his job very well. Because it got my attention with the Marines. He caught my attention with the Marines. Being in a Marine's office, not just his recruiting office, but even the first one. As soon as I stepped foot in the offices and like I saw all the Marines, something kind of just sparked and something kind of just told my head like, yes. Like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just, I kind of just knew. In my head, I was also like, okay, what about the other ones? But the Marines was something I kind of chose that I wanted to do. That sitting in that office for 3.5 hours, him lecturing me and telling me everything I needed to know. He told me the ups about being a Marine and he told me the downs about being the Marines. He told me about a lot of the sacrifices Marines make and a lot that the Marines contribute. He told me it wasn't going to be easy. It was going to be very challenging. It's going to be hard. It wasn't going to be easy. And that was something that I wanted to do. That was kind of something that even brightened it up for me. It made it clear to me that this is something I want to do. This is something I want to put myself through. This is something I want to challenge myself with. And I want to be able to call myself a Marine. I really don't know how else to explain it. And that was just the first time I had ever met him. You know what? And if people tell me that I'm falling for the trap of a recruiter, well, I'm glad, because it's something that feels right. It's something that I actually want to do. And it's something that I know is going to change me for the better. You know, if I can get through that, I feel like I can get through a lot of things in life if I can get through being a Marine. I don't know where I left off because I got distracted. This kind of decision, I know I had told myself that I wanted to talk to a recruiter from every branch, just so I could, know, and just so I could have information about it. But like I said, there was something about me talking to that first recruiter and to my now recruiter, to where it kind of just felt right, you know, and it feels right in my gut. And I know they say go to the Air Force. The Air Force has a lot of more opportunities for the civilization world. I understand that. I get it. I also feel like when you have that gut feeling, especially as a girl and especially as a woman, you guys may know that gut feeling that you guys have, and you know your gut feeling's right. I don't know how to explain it. And it just felt right, you know. I feel like even though I am choosing to go to the Marines, I feel like I'm gonna have just as many opportunities as if I were to go to the Air Force, you know. The Air Force isn't something that excites me. I've done a lot of research on the Air Force online, so I know what the Air Force is, what the Air Force do, what the different jobs are in the Air Force, and it didn't excite me. It kind of just gave me like an okay feeling. I was just like, okay, that's there. That's an option. Just like the Navy did and just like the Army did. But as soon as I figured out what the Marines were and what went into being a Marine and what you get out of the Marines, it excited me. And that right there told me that that is something that I wanted to do. And God willing, if there is any war or anything, if my job is to go out there, be front in line, I mean, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I mainly wanted to make this video because if there's any girl out there struggling and trying to figure out whether or not they want to join the military, whether it's the Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, I say do it. Oh, hey, you can see me through the camera. I would like to amplify that before I said to do it. Do your research before you decide. Do a lot of research. If you want a video on how to research whether or not you want to join, or if you want to know about the different branches before, do what I did. Go to a recruiting office. You could talk to each recruiter from a branch. I know I said I was going to do that, but I didn't do that. But if you want to do that, I would suggest you to do that. But do a lot of research. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Watch a lot of pros and cons. Figure out whether you want to go to school or not. Figure out whether you should go to school and then join. Or if you don't want to go to school and you want to join. View at all the different pathways that your life could go if you don't go. Or if you choose to go. You know? Yeah. But do a lot of research before. And if you guys want another video on how you could do your research, I guess I could probably put it into a video. It probably wouldn't be a long video. But yeah, just wanted to pinpoint that out before. Yeah. If you feel like you've been in a cycle with yourself on not wanting to go to school right after high school, or maybe you already finished school, or maybe you're halfway through school like I am. I'm not halfway. I just started and I've made the decision that I don't want to go back next year and for the next 4 years. I want to tell you that you are not alone. if I'm in somewhat the same position that you are, and you are struggling to make that decision whether or not to go, I'm gonna tell you to listen to your gut, especially when it comes to the Marines. I wanted to make this video because I've struggled to find a lot of Marine female YouTubers. I've seen maybe two or three channels that I can 100% say that have helped me throughout my whole journey as of right now. And I will link those 2 or 3 girls, I don't remember, in the description so you can go watch their channels, because they have also helped me tons with my decision. So yeah, I wanted to be able to share my side of the story and share my journey and my story as I progress and go on. But yeah, as of right now, I am studying for the ASVAB. I am studying like crazy, like no other. This is my paper that I have all my concepts that I need to focus on for myself. Today is March 11th, and I'm hoping to go to MEPS next month at the end of April. So I'm excited, I'm nervous. I want to enlist already. I have been waiting. I've been studying for the ASVAB for about a month and a half already. So in the half of March, it's already going to be 2 months. And then I still have a month until it hits April. So I have been studying. So by the time April comes, mid-April, it's already going to be about 2.5, maybe 3 months that I've been studying for this test. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I feel good on my math right now. I still need a lot more practice. But I believe in myself, and with God on my side as I take this test, I know I'm going to be okay and I'm going to get through it. I will tell you right now, I was not the best at math. If you want me to make a whole different other story about how I've been practicing and how I've been studying for the ASVAB, I will, because girl, it has not been easy. It has not been easy. I'm sorry about my mess right here. Sorry, I know I'm like eating and talking at the same time, but I mean, what can I say? I've been wanting to make this video and I've been procrastinating. I've been wanting to make this video and I've been procrastinating, so I thought I might as well make this video and eat at the same time. So yeah, if you want me to make a whole different, I probably will. Yeah, I probably will. But yeah, that is how I've came to the decision of becoming a Marine. That is how I came to the decision to wanting to become a Marine. All right, I'm not a Marine yet, but this is how I came to the decision of wanting to become a Marine. Like I said, if there's any girl out there, 18, 19, 20-year-old, if it's the Marines has the lowest percentage rate of women. And I want to be able to document my experience and let you guys know how it's going. So this is gonna be a long 4 years, a long 4 years of my life. But I pray and I hope and I know that it's gonna be some of the best 4 years of my life. But yeah, if you guys want more videos, there's definitely gonna be more videos to come. Oh, there most definitely is. The next video will probably be how I study for the ASVAB. If there's any girl out there for any branch, doesn't matter. The ASVAB is for every branch. So the next video I'll probably make is how I'm studying for the ASVAB. But yeah, I take my ASVAB next month. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And I hope that this video reaches the right audience. I hope this video reaches people that may or may not have been in my same situation, the same thinking process that I was in. I can make a whole separate video on how I told my parents, on how I finally decided to go. Telling my parents was the hardest thing I probably ever had to do in my life. Lie, but it felt like the hardest thing ever, and it was very hard when I told them, but it was a proud decision that I told them. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, more videos to come soon, especially about my military journey. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.
And his name is John C.